Hey guys, this is PhilosopherKing. How's it going? I hope you're doing well. It's been a little while, hasn't it? It's been about 3 weeks since my last update, and I apologize for that, but I've been busy with finals and writing papers and all that fun college stuff, so yeah, that's my reason. And I'm also not going to be able to update soon after this update because I'll be going to Italy as soon as I get back from school, and I'll be gone for 10 days. So yeah, to compensate for that, I'm going to provide you with a larger replay pack. And to start this play pack off, it's going to be me versus Majin Tupac. And you've seen us battle before. It's always been good, and this one's no different. So yeah, I led Claydol. Oh, what am I talking about? I led Cloyster, and Gengar goes for Hypnosis as I bring my Celebi in, presumably trying to put the Spiker/Spinner to sleep. Doesn't work out. He spams Hypnosis again, lands my Articuno, which is an ideal target. It activates Sleep Claws, and Articuno has Sleep Talk, so I can do something with it. So yeah, that worked out. I bring my Celebi in against the Gengar, but he switches to his Metagross as I do that. I take the opportunity to go for Leech Seed and scout out the Metagross set. It's not choice banded, so that's a good amount of information to know. We both switch out. We get Metagross on Regice, and that's looking like it's in my favor. I could go for Earthquake in anticipation of the bulky water coming in, or I can go for Meteor Mash, try and hit the Regice, or a Gengar switch in that comes in thinking it can avoid Earthquake. But I don't think Tupac will bring in the Gengar because that's a little risky. So I just decide to go for Meteor Mash, trying to hit the Regice. Hits the Coon instead. I get an attack raise, and I said to stay in just to test the waters, but I only do 30%, and after the crit he gets with Surf, it does 60%, so yeah, he got the better end of that. I try to gain some momentum back, go for Explosion against the Coon, but I hit his Metagross instead, so both Metagrai take each other out. And it's a 5-5 game. I answer with Celebi, he answers with Salamence. That's clearly an advantage for him. And man, he gets a massive 87% from that crit from Salamence. So that's not really good for me. I get a little back from Protect, but man, that's, wow, another crit. Yep, that's not a good way to start things off. I do have a Cloyster though, so that's good. Otherwise, I might be in some serious trouble against his Salamence. I go for Spikes because the Ice Beam is pretty obvious, and I don't think he wants to stay in and test the waters there, especially if he's locked in the HP Fly. Gengar comes in. It's going to force me to go out. Go my Pert, thinking he go for Thunderbolt, and maybe I can get some leftovers recovery as the Thunderbolt just fizzles out into nothing. But that doesn't work out. I use Protect, get some leftovers recovery, but I actually got less health in the process. I go back to my Articuno, and it takes an Ice Punch really well, because it's awesome like that. And we both switch after that, get Celebi on Regice. I go for Leech Seed, and he goes for Thunder Wave. Not comfortable staying in here. Regice is a pretty good Celebi answer when the Celebi's unboosted. And Articuno is a good answer against the Regice. I haven't seen Thunderbolt yet, which is mysterious to me. And he switches out, so that makes me think he doesn't have it, and he just has Thunder Wave. But that may or may not be true. I haven't seen the entire moveset. But it's something to consider. A couple switches later, we get Celebi on Regice once again. And I Calm Mind up as he goes for Ice Beam. Barring a crit here, I should get an advantage out of this. He goes for Thunder Wave as I go for Leech Seed. This will either prompt me to switch or prompt him to switch. I'm comfortable staying in, so I don't switch. Go for Psychic, trying to hit whatever he switches out. And it hits a Claydol, which takes it pretty well. Although the Claydol can't really do anything unless it's got like a weird set like HP Bug. But I can Calm Mind against it, so I don't think he's going to want to stay in here. Goes for Rapid Spin to get the first layer of Spikes out. That's all fine and well. Rapid Spin gets off, and I go for my second layer, my second boost with Calm Mind. Brings Regice in. I try to go for a third boost, but I get paralyzed, and I'm surprised I switched my Gengar here. That was kind of a huge blunder. I don't know what I was thinking there. And I go for Fire Punch, which that's also very stupid, so I get a punished for it severely. My Gengar gets paralyzed. And yeah, Gengar's pretty much useless now. This Gengar doesn't have Explosion or anything like that, so it can't really make itself useful there, even though it's slower. And it would have been pretty useful against the Salamence with Ice Punch, but it is what it is. Regice switching out against the Cloyster lets me know that it definitely doesn't have Thunderbolt, so I can use Spikes safely when it's out. I make a nice play. I go for Ice Beam as the Gengar comes in, and then I stay in boldly and go for Ice Beam as the Salamence comes in. So that was a pro play right there. Unfortunately, that little celebration is halted by the crit Ice Punch, which forces me to switch to Articuno. So yeah, Gengar getting some leftovers recovery right now, and Articuno is trying to wake up. I go for Sleep Talk, I hit Rest, that doesn't work out. And I'm not sure the Regice can really do anything. We still haven't seen the entire moveset from the Regice, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't have Thunderbolt. It would have used it by now. So it may have Explosion. It may have Seismic Toss. Maybe running like a double status effect thing like Toxic or Thunder Wave, but that's remote. So Explosion or Seismic Toss is the way to go. I get a little leftovers recovery with Protect, and I switch my Articuno. Regice comes in. I'm not sure what it can do, and the replay glitches. I gotta fix this. So he gets another crit with Ice Beam. That's not surprising. I think that's the fourth one, but it hasn't been really a huge deal. It hasn't really done anything to change the game. It's just made me a little more cautious. I think the biggest one was when the Salamence hit my Pert, but in the end it didn't turn out to be a huge deal, so whatever. I go for Sleep Talk, and I roar out the Coon, and then I hit Sleep Talk again, I believe. Yeah, that's what happened, which roars out the Coon again, so it forces it to take a little Spikes damage. Not a huge deal. It goes for Surf, and I roar it out. I get Claydol. It doesn't want to stay in against the Articuno. It looks like my Kuno is walling his team pretty well, and I think my Cloyster is as well. He goes for Thunder Wave against the Cloyster. I don't know why he did that. It's not really a huge deal. I get his layer of Spikes down, and I'm going to go for the 3 layers of Spikes to make Articuno's roar more effective. So yeah, Thunder Wave connecting with the Cloyster. Cloyster's a clam. It doesn't really move fast to begin with, but clams don't explode either, so maybe it's not a good analogy, but you know what I mean. Tupac's thinking about what he wants to do. I really don't know what he should do here. I can't really do anything against the Regice, and he can't do anything against the Cloyster, so if he wants, he could just like PP stall me, I guess, or something like that, but that's kind of weird thing to do. Gengar doesn't want to switch into the Cloyster because Ice Beam would do a ton. So I think that he's going to stay in here and go for Ice Beam, and yeah, he's just staying in. I'm going for Ice Beam, he's going for Ice Beam. It's Beam, Beam, Ice, Ice. I get the 3rd layer of Spikes down. I go for Ice Beam. The reason I'm doing that is to keep him from bringing something in like Claydol or Gengar or something which wants to come in. I want to keep him on his toes. I want him to presume he can do that. I try to go for a Beam again, but it wouldn't matter that much. Coon comes in, and then we both switch out. We get Articuno on Gengar. Goes for Hypnosis. That's not a huge deal. I am a Sleep Talk poke, but there is a huge deal. He goes for Explosion. Unfortunately for him, it doesn't kill, and I think he intended it to do so. But thanks to the defense events of Articuno, that didn't happen. So yeah, Regice comes in to answer. It could kill at Ice Beam. I think it will, and I'm not really going to take that chance, so I go to my Cloyster. He goes to his Claydol, presumably get rid of the Spikes. I go to my Gengar, but it's paralyzed, so I can't go for Giga Drain. So yeah, and I get paralyzed. So whoops. So Gengar's dead. he can get rid of those spikes if he wants, but he switches out, and that's surprising. I think he would have lived Hydro Pump, even if it was Torrent. I believe the Claydol would live that. So that was a failed opportunity, in my opinion, to get rid of the spikes, but it's not a huge deal. You could always get rid of them later. But yeah, Articuno versus Regice. I'm getting Leftovers Recovery. I gonna try to wake up and rest. That's the goal. That is the goal. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen this. Coon comes in. It can't do anything. Goes for Surf. Big deal. Regice comes in again. It can't really do anything. And man, I make a big mistake. I go for Sleep Talk instead of Rest as I wake up, and that allows him to kill me with Explosion. I don't know if Explosion would have killed there. If the Gengars didn't, I don't think the Regices would either. It depends. But either way, that was a big blunder on my part. And it makes the Coon more of a threat than it needs to be. Claydol comes in. The Claydol's still not getting rid of the spikes. I think it needs to do that, or it should have done that a while ago. So I'm not sure what the Coon will do here. I think it's going to rest. The risk of Explosion would prompt me to do that, because the Coon can just Calm Mind and do what it wants. But this Coon is a Sleep Talk Coon, and so it can be walled pretty easily by my Articuno. Unless it's a one-on-one confrontation, then I'm in trouble. But I have my Celebi, and the Suicune without Ice Beam can't really do anything against it. So as it falls asleep, I go for Leech Seed, and I'm going to start Calm Minding up, or go for Recover, either one. But I bring my Cloistering, and it's a good thing I did that, because the Claydol explodes, and that was huge, because if the Celebi died, then he could start sweeping with his Sleep Talk Coon, and yeah, even my Articuno couldn't deal with that. So final score is 3-1 after he forfeits. I mean, I would have stayed in and just gone for it. He still had a shot, and he just didn't do it. Could have gotten like a crit or something, but it was remote, so I can understand. So hope you enjoyed the battle. It's always a good game between Tupac and myself, and look forward to the next battle.